Welcome to our video on IELTS Speaking Part 2, the long turn. This is one of the most important sections of the speaking test, and it can be challenging for many students. But don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of what to expect, how to organize your response, and how to improve your answers from Band 4 to Band 9.
In Part 2 of the IELTS speaking test, you'll be given a task card with the topic. You'll have 1 minute to prepare, and then you'll need to speak for 1 to 2 minutes on that topic. The examiner won't interrupt you during this time, and you'll be expected to speak continuously. Your response will be assessed based on fluency, coherence, and your ability to organize and develop ideas.
The task card will ask you to describe something, explain why it's important, and give examples. For example, you might be asked to describe a place you visited, a person who has influenced you, or an important event in your life. You must cover all parts of the task card in your response and stay on topic.
To answer effectively, you need to organize your response clearly. Start with a brief introduction where you introduce the topic. Then, in the body of your response, describe the key details, explain why they matter, and provide examples. Finally, finish with a short conclusion summarizing what you've said. A well-organized response will help you stay on track and sound more fluent.
Here's an example of a Band 4 answer. While this answer is technically correct, it's very basic. The speaker provides only minimal information without elaborating on any details. This type of answer will not score well because it lacks fluency, coherence, and detail.
Here's an example of a Band 6 answer. The speaker provides more detail and some description, but it's still fairly simple. The response is more fluent than the Band 4 answer, but it could be further expanded with more elaboration on the experience and emotions felt during the visit.
This Band 9 answer is much more detailed, fluent, and well-organized. The speaker not only describes the place and the experience, but also explains why it was significant and adds personal feelings. This kind of answer shows a wide range of vocabulary, good grammar, and strong fluency, which are necessary for achieving a Band 9.
You have 1 minute to prepare for Part 2, and it's important to use that time wisely. Write down a few key points you want to mention in your answer. Think about the main details you want to describe, explain why they are important, and consider any examples that will help you elaborate on your points. This will help you stay focused and organized during your response.
Fluency and coherence are important factors in Part 2. You need to speak continuously for 1 to 2 minutes, so avoid long pauses. If you can't think of something to say, try to expand on the details you've already mentioned. For example, if you're describing a place, talk about the atmosphere, the people, and your feelings during the experience. This will help you maintain a steady flow of speech.
To achieve higher band scores in Part 2, you need to provide more than just a simple response. Band 6 answers are clear but lack enough detail. Band 7 answers include more detail but may have occasional pauses. Band 8 answers are well structured with good fluency and organization. Finally, Band 9 answers are fluent, rich in detail, and perfectly structured with no hesitation or errors.
To achieve a higher band score, use a range of vocabulary and complex sentences. Avoid repeating the same words or phrases. For example, instead of saying, "It was amazing" several times, try using synonyms like incredible, breathtaking, or fantastic. In addition, use a mix of simple, compound, and complex sentences to show your grammatical range.
Pronunciation is also important in Part 2. Make sure you speak clearly and use correct intonation to emphasize key points. For example, when describing something exciting, use a rising intonation at the beginning of your sentences to show enthusiasm. This will help your response sound more natural and engaging.
Here are some common mistakes in Part 2. First, don't speak too briefly. Avoid giving only short, simple answers. Second, don't speak too fast.
If you rush, you may lose clarity and make mistakes. Lastly, stay on topic. Make sure you answer all parts of the question and don't go off on unrelated tangents.
Here are some final tips for success in Part 2. Stay calm and take a moment to organize your thoughts before you start speaking. Expand on each point and give detailed descriptions and examples. And finally, practice speaking for 1 to 2 minutes on different topics to get used to speaking at length without hesitation.
To recap, Part 2 of the IELTS speaking test is all about organizing your thoughts, expanding on your answers, and speaking fluently. Remember to stay calm, use the preparation time wisely, and avoid common mistakes. With regular practice, you can improve your score and achieve your desired band. Good luck and keep practicing.